who knows about a Yoda? Not that many people anymore.
Well, Ahsoka and Luke, maybe.
Yeah, Ahsoka and Luke. Ahsoka and Luke. And that's that, with Ahsoka. But Ahsoka might be on her journey with Sabine to find Ezra and Thrawn. So,
hey, you know what I was just thinking about that prison thing that we were talking about they had Maul trapped in? It's you remember in that Rebels storyline where they tricked Kanan into going to look for, I think it was Luminara?
Oh, yes.
And they had her dead body trapped up in a thing. It looked like very similar to that, didn't it? Like this big metal box thing where you can just see the face through it. It just kind of popped into my head.
So, who's the actor that looks like a young Mark Hamill? Is that Bucky Rogers from the Avengers?
Yeah, Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Sebastian Stan. So he does look eerily like him.
It's Bucky Barnes. He and Captain America did not actually get married. There's just sexual tension there.
Well, you never know. I don't know, man.
Hey guys, I figured out how to add us back to YouTube. So there is a stream on YouTube.
You're gonna keep getting us killed, dude.
We're trying it again.
No, I'm fighting the man. No, this is bullshit.
I love it, man. Fight the power,
man. Where is Kathleen Kennedy? Let's get her over here on the live chat so she can
she'd be furious, frankly.
Yeah, she would be so mad that a Star Wars fan cast
she wants us to have our voice.
Yeah, man, we're talking.
My favorite thing about that too is that they're like, when I submitted the appeal, it says, "Oh, just so you know, due to COVID-19, our review process is delayed." I was like, if your review process is delayed, then you shouldn't be taking videos
Stop shutting us down, bro. We're trying to give content to the community during COVID-19. So.
And also, there's a sickness, so we can't look at videos on a computer. Give me a
That's literally crazy. A job you can very easily do. From home.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think, So caffeinated diabetic in here just said back for 2 minutes and it's gone. So I just saw the numbers rise again. I saw the numbers drop again. So
we're still there. I think he's joking. I got it on my secondary monitor here. We'll see. I'll keep you updated in real time.
This is so wild. I don't Breakfast with Bennu needs to be a chill show. We don't need to be fighting, man.
I know. It's coming in hot. We're gonna have to switch to mimosas.
This is wow, weird. Okay, so Jedi and Mandalorian season 2. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're going to see it in season 2, but my biggest want, I've made no bones about it. I want Baby Yoda in Mandalorian armor. I want that armor, and I want to see him waddle around in the armor. I need to see it. There was a tweet that I saw this past week. I don't remember who it was from, but they're like, wouldn't it be awesome if Baby Yoda followed in his father's footsteps to become a star pilot? And I was like, oh, now that would be sick, dude. To see little Baby Yoda piloting a ship, I think that would be pretty funny. I don't know. But what do you guys want to see in Mandalorian season 2?
It right now, as soon as possible.
Well, you're gonna get the documentary on Monday.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
I'm actually really pumped for that.
Yeah, me too.
Did you guys hear what I said? I said Boba Fett.
I heard. I breezed right over. I almost trolled you guys with my Boba Fett coffee mug that I was going to pretend I wasn't drinking out of, even though you could see it. But I ran out of time. I go to bed very late, so this is early for me.
I think I'd like to see, so we know that the Empire is kind of in disarray at this point, and there's very different factions. I wouldn't mind seeing Empire on Empire, the remnants fighting against each other in a power struggle. You know what I mean? But more like a space battle type thing, or even ground combat between stormtroopers. I think that'd be a heck of a lot of fun just to see them going against each other.
Yeah, like a brutal faction, like a ruthless, worse than Gideon.
Yeah, like large pockets that are clearly trying to establish some kind of dominance in what's left of the galaxy after the Empire. So
we're kind of diving back into the Baby Yoda Mandalorian helmet. I pictured his ears sticking out of the helmet, so his ears are exposed.
I like it. I could go either way, but it's interesting. But
unless he puts Beskar cuffs over his ears, so he has the helmet and then he puts the Beskar cuffs and they click into place,
some earmuffs or something.
And they make that Star Wars that noise where it seals up, where Vader's helmet seals up.
Yeah.
So
I'm afraid if they were metal and sticking up when he's riding the speeder bike, it would make him fly off back. They'd get caught in the wind or something. And fly off back.
I could see a quick scene. Well, I don't think he's going to get his own custom armor, but I could see a quick scene where maybe they're in the ship and Mando's got his helmet off and Baby Yoda like grabs it and like tries to put it on, but it's so big it like goes down over his shoulders
and he
he's
just
like
falls over
or something.
falls over, right? Like I could see
God.
something like that happening because everybody knows the cuteness factor is going to go up tenfold.
I love it. So did you guys see this? Apparently there is Yoda on that
I saw
Iron
that
Maiden?
tweet. Yeah, I saw somebody
Weird.
tweet that too, and it was like from the Clone Wars.
Wait,
and
say that
how-
again.
Look
So
at that. Look, yeah.
that box that Maul's in, you can see like the face of Yoda in it, and someone did like a compare of season 6 Yoda, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, Clone
I think
Wars.
that's cool. I mean,
It's
I would
on
be
Twitter
interested to see that.
somewhere.
So I like that. Now, our friend Josh Laws asked if anyone snagged the Ahsoka bust. Did I miss something? Did they drop that sideshow bust? Am I?
What?
Did I?
I
Did I
haven't seen
just?
no, I haven't seen the new one. The new one?
Am I gonna go cry in my pillow for the rest of the afternoon?
I already
'cause
missed one.
this?
If I missed the second one, I'm going to be sad. Capital
Right.
S sad.
We have
as far as I know, they have not dropped the second one because I am on Gentle Giant like a hawk. It is
Yeah,
up
Justin,
on my
you're
thing and I
the-
refresh it
You're
every
the
day.
figure dealer.
Yeah, I have not seen that drop. It did throw me off a little bit because Gentle Giant on Facebook, there's somebody that has a page that posts videos of unboxings and they walk through the figures. And they had thrown up the older Ahsoka figure not long ago, and it freaked me out because I was like, wait a minute, this is like posted as of yesterday. And I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? I tried to go, I went to their page to get it and I couldn't do it. But I have a login and password and like an account with them. So if there's any mail that comes out about releases and whether it goes to like the golds, the silver, premium guild membership stuff, I get that, but I haven't seen it drop yet. So
I got to get on that, Justin. So Justin gave me a hot tip because I missed that Ahsoka bust like Kyle did last time around. I mean, a lot of us did because we weren't premium guild members for Gentle Giant. So I'm just going to enroll in one of those like lower tiers so I can cross my fingers and hope I can get that bust because I have a spot for it on my mantle. I got 1 million Star Wars things, but I'm holding out for that one Ahsoka bust. I mean, I really, really want a statue.
It's
so bad.
And for those that don't know, Gentle Giant does different levels of guild memberships. Like there's $100, $150, and $50, I think. But for the $100 and $150, you get a free statue. You get it to pick between like one of 4 statues for that year.
It's
so
like Beaumont. It's Rick Tamton.
You get a prune face. There's
your boy, what's Lee Char? You get the Lee Char statue.
Hey, I would take that statue.
They I think they had the mini busts were Ponda Baba and Grand Moff Tarkin for this past year. And then the statue was Clone Trooper in rain gear. And then the full statue, if you do the highest level guild membership, was C-3PO. But he's got like detachable arms and legs or something like that.
That's
so
cool.
but yeah, so and it's not prorated for the year. They finally got back to me.
Good.
So
okay.
Even though the membership expires in like June, which is in like 2 months from now, you still get the free statue of whatever they have left. If they don't have any left, you can pick something for up to $100 value. So
see, the way I would have said that is, even though there's only 2 months left, you still pay the full amount.
Yes. Well, but if the Ahsoka drops in the next 2 months, you get the first right to go order it. If it doesn't, you better hope that when it goes up for public sale, that there's any left.
There won't be. There wasn't any last time, and this statue's way cooler. Now, guys, I dropped the name. We got to get to it.
I got to.
It's time. It's time.
Hey,
Hey, at least this time he's in the middle, so it's covering him.
Yeah,
leave it up, Chris. It's fine. Leave it up.
Dark side.
All right, here we go. Beaumont quote of the day. We really need to pull some Haldo maneuvers. Boom! Got
I like how it's a quote of the day, but he only has like 2 lines in the entire
movie. 4 lines. I know. That's one of the dumbest things that's ever been said in Star Wars.
Dark science, cloning.
Oh, dude,
I think in Star Wars that's just like regular science. Like, in regular world, that's just regular science. I mean, frankly, they did it with the sheep in like the 90s.
The Clone Wars was kind of like a galactic event, so I think like the common folk would know about cloning. And you're right, Kyle. It's like just regular medicine at that point.
Well, he's a dumbass. Let's spade a spade.
Oh, this
I got
this guy right here. Beaumont, the legend.
We've given Chris too much power with these.
He's figuring new things out every day. His powers are growing stronger.
We've created a monster.
We must stop him.
I added a background on this. It's so good.
So
was I the only one that did not realize he was a doctor for like the longest time?
Is he a doctor?
He's a doctor, like Dr. Phil's a doctor.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the conversation between Dr. Aphra and Dr. Beaumont? Like what?
See, I think
she's gonna look at him like, really? No. How did you get your PhD?
Like Dr. Aphra went to medical school and Beaumont got a doctorate in like I don't know.
He's like a dentist or something. No offense to dentists.
Yeah. I think Aphra got a doctorate in like archaeology.
Archaeology. Yeah. Listen, I do know
what's Beaumont's in then. Like
dark science.
Could you imagine that comic? An older Dr. Aphra just like looking at this dude like, who are you? Shut up.
Can I ask a question about something I care about? Which is not this. So where is Yoda? Where is the Yoda image on this Iron Maiden thing that Maul's trapped in? Because I'm looking at it right now on Disney Plus.
Is there a way that we can throw it up in the chat? Do we know that?
I mean, I put it. I tried to find an image. Oh God, this is
caffeinated diabetic said he tagged you guys in a picture on Twitter.
I'm scared to share my screen, and I'll something crazy will pop up. I don't know.
Careful.
I'm not looking at anything weird. I swear to God, but I could just make me nervous.
Could be a galactic rapper.
I'm not seeing the tag. I'm not seeing the tag from this. Let's take a peek here.
Because I paused it. Oh, he tagged us on Twitter.
That's what he said in the comment. Yeah.
Caffeinated diabetic. Tell the truth. I'm just kidding.
I would love. You know what? He actually he sent. I believe someone sent us a message on the show at StarWarsFriends.com, and I believe it was him asking us if he had missed our Mandalorian episode 3. You saw this email, or you got the
no, I got the tag.
He asked if we missed the episode 3 recap of the Mandalorian season, and I don't remember because that was a long time ago. Did we not do an episode 3 Mandalorian recap?
We must have. I think we talked about every single episode.
Yeah, that's what I
definitely did.
That was one of the better ones too. That was the Deborah Chow one, right?
Yeah. Was it?
Wait,
that was
what happened in that exact episode?
That's the one where he gets Yoda and tries to little Yoda, baby Yoda,
the child.
Yeah. He gives them to the client, but then he goes back and gets them, and then all the Mandalorians help.
Yeah, that's where we see the Comtono of the Beskar opens up, and he's got the little ice cream maker, right? Yeah, we definitely talked about that.
Here it is. That was the week you interviewed Dominic Pace, but I could have sworn we talked Camtono because I am a Camtono freak. I literally have that Wilro Hood figure right next to me right now.
We did both because you guys did an interview show that I was at work during, and we also talked about the episode on a regular show.
Okay.
We'll find it up. We'll find it. We'll look it up.
Go visit the Star Wars Friends archives on StarWarsFriends.com, please.
Well done, Chris.
Luckily, we name our episodes crazy things, so it's very easy to match it up with what it's about. So
this is very true. Could have been called like the Ice Cream Man or something weird, you know. So, Josh, you said you have the image, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I see it. It's more like the brow and the
episode 3. It is the way. Here we go. Yeah.
There it is. Fact check, baby. Love it.
Camtono packed full of conversation. Yeah, it's in there.
Big Josh. That was a big Josh right there.
Yeah. Josh is figuring out buttons too.
I like it. I'm going to go ahead and sip on my May Luron juice out of my Rise of Skywalker giant lightsaber cup that's like 4.5 feet tall. So
it was very, very stylistic case for Maul, but I can see it. It's like Yoda's brow and it kind of flares out from the ears here. I could see it. Yeah.
Where are we looking at this picture?
There it is. See the?
Okay.
I see it. He's got a little
closed
nose.
eye. Yeah, the closed eyes.
Where are we talking about?
So kind of look center picture. The Mandalorian helmet is his nose. Scroll back to see that little nose and then his little eyes.
Oh, because I just see like a bunch of Mandalorian helmets.
And starts laughing. That's what the casket does, or whatever the heck this thing is.
I see. Yeah, but I can see the side helmets and the middle helmet.
Look at this technology. Josh is like the maestro of this. I mean, I'm not trying to make a pun on his 1% John Williams, background, but he's really good at this. All right. I see it.
That's good. Okay, I like it. People are smart.
Yeah, I would have. I didn't see it at all.
I still barely.
I love Laws's question. Do you guys see?
You have to be stoned.
Let's load it up here. I was too busy crying to notice that Yoda was in the casket.
And it's awesome, Laws, because I was actually thinking this same thing today. Not necessarily about Maul in the timeline and what happened there, but who would be a character within Star Wars that you would change their storyline for? Whether good or bad or whatever, right? Like, what if Kylo beats Rey? Or what if Grievous doesn't die? What if he beats ObiWan Kenobi? Or kind of like the what ifs that they do in the Marvel universe. Who's your what if in Star Wars that if you could take them on a different timeline to affect their story, who would it be?
That's a deep question. I wasn't prepared for it.
See? You're up all night. You're up late hours. This is what you come up with. But Laws, I'm on the same page with you, man.
Wait, hold on. Say that one more time.
So in the Star Wars universe, who is a character you would change their story for? So for instance, Grievous obviously dies from Obi-Wan. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet.
Blew it. Okay,
but
now I know.
Or if Obi-Wan faces Darth Vader and beats Darth Vader. Or if Luke doesn't blow up the Death Star, or like, who's this character whose story you would change in Star Wars?
Because Marvel's what if type of situation.
Yeah, exactly. The Marvel what if kind of storylines that you would like to see.
I would go Anakin. He doesn't turn dark.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Much shorter series of movies.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah. Because Palpatine would have had like another apprentice.
I'm sure he had a backup. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Like, what if Ki-Adi-Mundi had never suggested Yoda go take care of the Wookiees?
You're
right. Yoda would have been on Coruscant, and then he would have been like, "Yo, Mace, let's go," and they would have gone to confront the Emperor, and it would have been game over.
Yeah, Ki-Adi-Mundi, he ruined everything.
Yeah, you immediately lose me with any strategy involving Trashmaster Windu.
For me, I'm a big Grievous fan. I'm a big Grievous fan.
Listen here, civilian.
That Windu moment, Kyle, you were the first person I thought of immediately when he dropped that line. Anyway, but no, go ahead, Justin. Sorry.
No, for me, I would have liked to have like Grievous maybe didn't like Obi-Wan didn't beat Grievous. He escapes and he wanders out there, but yet the story goes on for him, not part of the Separatists, but he escapes, he goes back to his home world, or he goes off on other things, raises his own kind of army or something like that, and leads people. So I would have liked to have seen Grievous's story continue.
So we're just saying
Sith Lord Jar Jar, although that's like that would be interesting. I will say that would be interesting.
That's pretty good. I will okay, so we're just talking about stories that exist and if they were just slightly altered, right? We're not talking about
I've got a good one, I think. What if Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon slowed down a little bit to get Maul and went in there together, and Qui-Gon didn't die?
I'm on Team Qui. I think
he would have trained
so much.
He would have trained Anakin. He wasn't really a firm believer in the Council, who was like being corrupted at that time. It could have been very interesting.
What if he trains Anakin, right? And then Qui-Gon makes the decision to leave the Jedi Order and talks Anakin into leaving as well.
Well, if he left, then Anakin might have left and been with Padme, and they wouldn't have to worry about the whole thing, and boom, happily ever after.
True.
And then we just, probably still Palpatine.
I think Qui-Gon probably would have left at some point. I mean, he was always on the verge, like Dooku, he's always on the verge of, at least from what we have, or I don't even know if it's canon anymore, some of those older novels. But Qui-Gon was a character that I didn't really rally behind a lot until I got older, until all the movies came through and I started really paying attention to who Qui-Gon was. I think that you're onto something there with that. I think Qui-Gon
gets expanded on outside the movies and makes his character more interesting too. He's got a lot going on with his whole he's a total hippie, anti-establishment kind of pacifist dude, which is cool for me.
Yeah. My easy answer for this is Boba Fett, but I'm not even trying to be weird about it, Kyle. I know, but hang on. That's my easy answer. That's my easy answer. It's not because
but it's just like,
no,
don't lobbing this guy softballs or what?
If they could retcon Jango Fett and all that stuff, I would feel much better, but they can't. So I'm stuck on that. But what I'm thinking of, if they can change the story of Han Solo and Leia post Return of the Jedi, where Han and Leia are, Han is less reluctant. Yeah, better parents, less reluctant to embrace the power. And then, the new Galactic Republic or whatever they I forget what the term is that they use for Hosnian Prime and restoring the democracy, right? I think if Han took a larger role in that, we would see a much different galaxy. Maybe Ben would have. Listen, I don't know. I know that Han Solo gets a bad rap in Disney era canon. We've talked about this on the show before, and I think if his character arc would have went a different way, it would have been a totally different universe for the sequel trilogy. But obviously, he's a scoundrel, he's a pirate, and apparently a bad father that ran away and got in fights with Duquesne or whatever. So I don't know.
The best father I ever heard of, that's for sure. He's probably a little better than Anakin,
but Han Solo is my favorite character, and I just think that yes, Harrison Ford revived what he could with the character in the sequel trilogy, but the character was still flawed fatally in all the novels, all the the comics. They really piled on Han for being a terrible father, a terrible person. So had he, whatever that switch would have flipped, where he would have been a little bit more prone to be a better father or embrace the Republic, who knows, man? I think that it could have shifted the dynamic of the universe. I think
it's fun though to see the different scenarios that people are putting up though, because like Mandy commented here that she wishes Satine was alive and Obi left the Jedi Order to be with her. That would have been so cool, right?
Yeah, I'd like that.
Like it's interesting because there's a lot of people out in the fandom that like poo-poo Reylos and things like that, because they liked that concept of Kylo Ren or Ben and Rey being together post Rise of Skywalker, and they go off and live happily ever after.
I can see it.
And they love it, and that's why, like, as fans in this community, like it's not it's not cool to poo-poo somebody else's idea,
right,
or what they love, because in their head that's what they enjoy, and that like I hadn't even thought of that, and that's a really really cool.
That's a good
like plot twist
really
that I would have loved to have seen. Like, and
there's like basically zero successful romance in the entirety of the Star Wars universe. Like, it ends in death or misery, pretty much across the board.
But
there's a lot of
R2 3PO.
Oh, I heard where you're going, Lauren.
It's a romance. Go ahead, Lauren.
What if Ezra goes dark?
Yes.
What? I mean, if that happened,
like all of them.
Yeah.
That would have been an interesting story.
Like Kate's trying to pull him back. Yeah.
Listen, I have full blown goosebumps that you just said that, because Ezra
Whole Star Wars What If series.
Oh, I love Ezra. The character of Ezra Bridger is one of my favorite Star Wars characters, and that's fascinating to me, Lauren, because I thought the same dang thing at one point watching that live.
Oh yeah.
And obviously I love how it turned out, and I'm just intrigued and want to see the continuation of that story. But it's great. Actually, I've been talking about this on our show that my fiance Neely, she hasn't watched Rebels all the way through, and we've been kind of pacing it out over the last year or so. We finally just watched the finale of Rebels this past week, and she definitely was like, oh, what happens next? It's like
question of the day, Neely.
Yeah, that really is. Yeah.
Question of the day for like a few years. Or for that matter, what if Kanan, who had finally become the master Jedi and the great teacher that he was trying to become throughout the whole series, what if he found a way to survive and he could have helped Luke train up a new Jedi Order, and that might have changed that whole thing.
Did Maria really drop a Rush Clovis in here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then she questioned his potency. No, that was Maria.
Yeah, she said that, but she said that in response to this.
Oh, let's see it.
Father Bright. Oh, come on.
Gosh,
Rebel art. Come on.
He could Clovis could never.
No, I love it, dude. Any type of like just oddball Clone Wars character I'm into.
I've heard a lot of people saying like, "What if this happened? Would Anakin have not turned? What if that happened? Would Anakin not have? Would he have not turned?" And I think pretty much if anything different happened, Anakin would have not turned. I think it was like the exact perfect storm of mother dying, people not believing in him, the war, his Padawan gone, all of these things. So if you take any of those out, I think he would have made a different decision, which makes it so interesting.
Yeah. So Neely is my fiance. You see the comment right there. She needs more Rebels. We all need more Rebels.
We all do.
I'm ready for it. I want that continuation. Have we changed our thoughts on this rumor that Rebels is going to be continued in the fall? How are we feeling about that?
I'm not buying it. You're not buying it? No.
I've always thought it will be continued. I think if it was coming in the fall, we'd know something definitive by now.
What I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That Filoni tree outside of that weird.
Because what's fall? September, right?
Yeah. It's coming up soon.
That's 3 months away. It's 4 months away. It's pretty soon.
Depends on how many episodes too. I think they do, right? If they end up doing like 12 episodes, a lot of times they'll come out in like October and they'll run it up to the Christmas break. And then they'll take a break between Christmas and January and then come back in February. So
I can see them coming, like doing a series with Sabine and Ahsoka, but maybe next year or the year after.
What about like what they're doing?
I think animation takes a long time to do.
Well, it does, but what if they do a 4-part series like they're doing with this arc now? We do a 4-part, from let's say October through December, and then another 4-part next year. You just get that taste of this. I don't know. I also don't think that Disney would want to have The Mandalorian compete with anything else.
Well, they're already going to have it competing with a bunch of stuff. So I worry I wonder how much they're going to throw out there at the same time, because we already have The Mandalorian. We know the Cassian show is coming. We know the Obi-Wan show is coming. We know the game show is coming. We know. So like, if we're talking about 4 or 5 Star Wars properties already in weekly releases, I don't know that they're going to add a 5th and a 6th and a 7th. Like that's just a lot. They'd wait until one is finished or finishing before they introduce a new one. I think, I'm not.
You're right. No, you're right. No,
that's circle by any means. But.
Just put it together. That makes total sense as you laid it out. So, Lauren, I have recently caught some serious flack, and maybe have lost some trust in the Jedi Council here on the Star Wars Friends, because I made a very honest and bold proclamation that I am more excited for the Cassian Andor series than I am the Kenobi series. Ooh. And I literally, everyone fell out of their chair, they clutched their heart, they threw their computer across the room.
Still recovering.
I said on the one when we were talking about that, the question first came up, which one when I think it was a couple episodes back, which one we were more excited for. And I was a little bit more excited for the Cassian one than the Obi-Wan, just because it's a little bit a different type of show. So you're not alone in that boat, Chris.
No, dude,
I'm excited for both, but
yeah. The more I think about it, I am more excited. And listen, I took this conversation off air.
I really love Alan Tudyk too. He's awesome.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk's incredible.
Definitely excited for that.
But I definitely caught flack. And even, our guest last week, my friend Jason from Rebel Force, we took that conversation off air and he would not let that go. He just kept talking, we kept talking about it, so that's fun. But Lauren, what are you more excited for? Are you more excited for the Cassian series? Are you more excited for the Kenobi series? Or is there another one in the works that you are excited for?
I'm excited for both. Kind of what Justin was saying. Like I'm excited for both. Cassian does intrigue me because I think we are gonna get like something different, like the Mandalorian. It's gonna be a little bit different, more spy, more rebel type.
I hope they really lean into that stuff.
Yes, me too. Oh, 100%. But because obviously we just got the announcement that the actress that played Mon Mothma in Rogue One is reprising her role. So that gets me excited because I want Jimmy Schmitz to come back as Bail Organa
he's been
bad.
Cashing Star Wars checks for so
bad.
long.
Oh my God. Because I think that show is really good for like cameos. You could cameo so many people from the OT to even, these new characters from maybe Rebels or Clone Wars, anything you could do. There's a lot of room in there to do a lot of things. So I think that's why it intrigues me more. But I'm excited for Obi-Wan in the desert. Like,
for sure.
100%.
Well, see, I'm not excited for him in a desert, and that's kind of what we were. That branched off another train of thought. Is now, are we going to get a full season of Obi-Wan in the desert, or is there going to be some flashback episodes where we bring back Hayden Christensen and we get to see General Kenobi and General Skywalker in live action? That to me just got my head going crazy. But what do you think it's going to be set primarily on Tatooine, or do you think that he's going to go off planet at some point?
I think he'd go off planet. I honestly do. I hope so, because like you're saying, if the whole series, I would be fine with it. But if the whole series was just him on Tatooine, like you can only do so much with that. But I like the idea that you said, Chris, that like flashbacks. I could see that would be, I think, a really interesting thing to incorporate in that show. Because you could do, like I said, you could do a lot of things with that as well. You could throw in Anakin. You can throw in a lot of things that could tie in that prequel era a lot.
Can you imagine with the technology they have now? You go back and watch the prequels on Disney Plus 4K, and they look beautiful, and they're for us it's nostalgia, and it just has that emotional factor. But you take modern technology, modern filmmaking, you put someone, we had Tyler in the comments, Pizza and Parsecs, talk about Tony Gilroy, who obviously came in for Rogue One after Gareth Edwards, and can you imagine a Clone Wars live action in the vein of Rogue One? Oh, amazing. Whoa.
I don't know if they'll do it, but I would love to see a little bit of everything, a little bit of Obi-Wan watching over Luke from a distance, maybe dealing with some Hutts and bounty hunters and various scoundrels on Tatooine, going off planet, some flashbacks and memories. I'd love to see him and Satine from their younger days, having their like sexual tension, love interest thing going on, with maybe a young Qui Gon could show up when he was taking on Obi-Wan. That stuff would be very cool. But what I would love to see is like, and I think I mentioned this in one of our other episodes, but at the end of Sith, when Yoda is telling Obi-Wan he's got something to teach him, something for him to practice and meditate on, and I'd love to see some kind of episode like we got where Yoda was learning from the priestesses in
like
Lost episodes. I'd love to see some super out there spiritual force crazy thing where Obi-Wan is learning how to make himself a force ghost. I think that could be really interesting. We've not seen that in live action, really.
Would we get an appearance of a Captain Rex in the Kenobi series, where Kenobi helps them relocate to that planet? What planet were they on in Rebels? What was that?
I can't remember the name of that, with the giant things they were fishing for in the desert.
So, I mean, that's just fascinating to think about. I'm happy that I'm not as beat up this episode as I was prior episodes for my cat.